Today I am with Erik and Stephanie, and they are the two behind Miami's best cookies, or at least that's my opinion. We're gonna talk a little bit about their story, how they got started, how they met, because they are a husband and wife team. So we're gonna go into all of that. Erik, you make these cookies, but you're also a lawyer, a full-time lawyer. You have your own law practice. So how do you balance all of that?
A lot of hard work, but luckily my wife is there to help me out. She's able to cover things when I'm not able to. But really it's about managing your time well and having a good team around you that's able to take care of things when I'm not around.
Well, you went to UM, right? And there you played football. Your initial goal in life at first was to be an NFL player, right?
Definitely.
Before you even thought about cookies.
Yes.
So how did that happen? Like, how did you go from I want to be an NFL player and then to now having a cookie shop?
I'll give you the short story because it is quite a long story, but I was playing football and then I had a career-ending injury, so I could no longer play football anymore. It forced me to go to law school, and while I was in law school, it was during winter break that I said, hey, I need to try and make some money. Let me try selling cookies, because I used to make make chocolate chip cookies with my mom growing up. Once I got into law school, I tried to expand, and I incorporated in 2014. We've expanded to 13 different flavors. Each month we do have a new flavor that comes out. My wife helps out with our manager and trying to determine what is the flavor of the month going to be. It was just kind of it stuck with me as a child. Everyone always was like, when's the next birthday party? When's the next celebration? We're trying to get our
Because your
hands
mom
on.
is the one that made the original cookies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
you and your mom
chocolate
started
chip.
with chocolate chip cookies. Like, this is actually her recipe.
Yes. Yes. I'll say it's my mom's recipe, but
She started it.
Yes, but we've expanded to the other flavors, and definitely I would have to attribute it to her helping me out and give me a strong foundation to get to where we are today.
You are a lawyer. You have your own law firm. Now you have a cookie shop, and then you went to UM and you played football. So you do a little bit of everything. How is it that you went from playing football and law to now doing this?
So I started off my football career at Northeastern University, and then unfortunately I cut the football program after 2 years, so I was forced to transfer to University of Miami, where I was a backup linebacker and started on special teams, hence why it was always my dream to go to the NFL. Starting off at UM is a great way to catapult yourself there, and unfortunately while I was there I had to have 2 brain surgeries because I had a subdural hematoma. After the second brain surgery, the doctors told me football was no longer an option to me, so I still wanted to continue in the game, so I said let me try and be a sports agent, and in order to become a sports agent, it would be much better if I was a lawyer. Hence, I decided to get into law school and try and pursue the sports agent career.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I met a couple sports agents and had interactions, and I didn't really feel like that was my type of industry I'd want to be in. I'm more of keeping everyone as a family and unity, whereas the sports agents and stuff, they only care about you when you're actually doing well. When you're not doing well, they don't really care about you. So from there, I just pivoted to, hey, I'm gonna open up my own law firm, since I was playing football and didn't really have the most legal experience prior to going to law school. So I figured my best avenue at getting to where I wanted to get to was opening up my own firm. We opened up in 2019. The cookie business was on the back burner. As I said, I was doing it during law school, and I said...
And at the time when you were doing it just during law school, was it still just you and your mom?
My mom was just involved as I was a kid.
As the initial?
Yeah, as the initial. Once I got into law school, I was like, hey, let me try doing something with this. Yeah, she helped me out in that she let me use her kitchen and the oven and things like that. But it was me staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to fulfill orders while still studying for law school. And then once I got my law firm opened up and stable, it was in August of 2020 during COVID that we got this place opened up, and we started off on Postmates, Uber Eats, and DoorDash, and then we've been able to expand to where we are now.
But back to the law, that's no easy task, so you have in mind that you want to be in the NFL, and then you have an injury, like you have the surgeries and you're not able to do it. But not many people would just then decide like, okay, I want to be a lawyer, even though you wanted to be a sports agent. Like, that's still not something easy. So I know that your dad is an attorney as well. Did he play a factor in influencing you to maybe get into law?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because that's another 4 years that you have to sacrifice. Like, it's not easy. You're making it sound easy, but it's really hard.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of work.
Yes, that it does. My dad, seeing him in the courtroom, he was a criminal defense attorney, so seeing him in the courtroom, arguing in front of the judge and, with the jury there and things like that, always, had me interested in becoming a lawyer. He actually wanted me to start off, as a public defender and try and get as much experience as possible before starting out on my own. So he was kind of against me opening up my own firm.
Oh.
But now that he sees how successful and everything is. He always tells me, you know, very proud of you and what you've been able to accomplish. So he did help me out, I guess, setting the foundation for, you know, what being an attorney is and all that. But ultimately, in the end, just hard work and dedication will help take you anywhere, whether it's cookies, legal field, whatever you want. You know, I always believe just hard work and dedication and discipline.
Yeah, you took something from the kitchen all the way to what it is now, and you'll be opening up your own storefront soon, which will be amazing. For the cookies, you also have brothers. So no, and I'm sure they all enjoyed the cookies too. And in the beginning, back when it was just the chocolate chip, I'm sure everyone loved it. So why you? What was it that made you be the one to be like, okay, I'm the one that wants to take this and blow this up?
That's a good question. I've actually never really thought about that. I would probably say just seeing the opportunity from the first week that I tried to, you know, start selling cookies during law school. I made $1,000 within the first week, and I was like, oh, there's something to this.
Selling cookies?
Yes.
That's
so
a lot.
I had luckily my brother's friends were, you know, purchasing large platters, and they were giving them to their bankers and offices. So I had quite a bunch of orders to do. So that helped me see that, hey, there's something to this. The fact of me wanting to expand and you know, take it to where we are now is I just, you know, I guess want to build a, you know, generational wealth, have something to give, you know, to my kids. We have 2 daughters, my wife and I, so having something that they'll be able to continue on, you know, after.
And you're very business minded too.
Yes,
so
definitely. Well, yeah, my brothers own businesses. They own, you know, smoke shops here in Miami. One of them's a manager at the SLS. My other brother owns the Smoothie King that's on UCF campus in Orlando, and he's also a fireman.
So it's safe to say your parents are proud, and you've all done something like pretty important with your lives.
For the most part,
yes. Yeah.
I definitely say that they're proud. So
with everything that you do, you know, because you still have your practice and you're still working there full time, and you come here, how do you balance your life? Oh, and you're married, you have 2 kids. Like, what do you do?
It's important to choose the right partner to help you in life, because obviously I can't be everywhere. My wife has, you know, great taste, and she has just as much drive as I do, if not more. So, you know, we're able to balance each other out, and having a good team. You know, we can't do everything by ourselves, so whether it's family helping out with the kids or the employees here, you know, going above and beyond what we expect out of them. But, you know, at the end of the day, we just want to be able to deliver a great product to the consumer at the end of the day.
And that you do.
Thank you.
But tell me, what is a typical day for you like?
My typical day is usually I wake up around 6 o'clock. I try and go to the gym, be there by 6:45, 7 o'clock. Then I'm usually at the office by around 9:30, 10. I'll stay there on a regular day till about 5 or 6 at night. Come home, try and spend some time with the kids, eat dinner, you know, do some family time, and then sometimes I end up back here at the kitchen around 9, 10 o'clock at night, whether it's to do some mise en place, mixing the ingredients, or just making sure everything is in order, and then end up asleep by around 12 or 1, and then back up at 6 o'clock.
And do it all over again.
I'm one of those people that can work on about 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Wow.
I think it's the football, because when we had football practice, we'd have 5:45 in the morning practices, hitting 300-pound linemen. So I've been up, you know, used to getting up early and get it going.
Oh my God, it's safe to say that you also don't have much time for hobbies right now? Nothing else? It's just
definitely not. My hobby, I guess, would be working out or taking care of the kids, if you want to call it a hobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much busy, just, you know, trying to get everything in order. And now with our retail store that's hopefully going to be open up in February or March, it's just going to pick up and get busier. So I just put my head down and get to work, because that's the only thing I know how to do.
And do you have plans in the future to maybe streamline that a bit, or I don't know, find other ways to help you guys have a little more alone time and some R&R?
Honestly, my plan is to open up more Sweet Licks. So getting any rest, probably not, but maybe just having our employees graduate from being employees to, you know, managers, to then, you know, regional managers and, you know, national managers. Because at the end of the day, what I plan on doing is not necessarily franchising this, but doing like joint ventures with people that want to open up a Sweet Licks, where like, hey, you know, you throw money in, we open up a company together, and, you know, it's going to manage the Sweet Licks for that location. And I have family and friends in, you know, Colorado, California, Orlando. So I have people waiting in line, I guess as you would say, to want to open up one. So
no, you definitely have big plans for Sweet Licks.
yes, I'm here for the cookie takeover.
The cookie takeover and ice cream.
Yes.
You do really good ice cream as well.
Thank you, we appreciate it. Yeah, we currently have 4 flavors: vanilla, chocolate, dulce de leche, cookies and cream. And then we've kind of expanded on those by throwing cookies into the ice cream. So like we have a snickerdoodle in the dulce de leche ice cream, and then we have our chocolate chip cookie and our vanilla ice cream. Who's to say we're not going to expand even further than that? We also do offer key lime pie, pumpkin pie. We're working on Oreo cheesecake. We have vegan s'mores bars, so we try and have a little something for everyone.
For everyone. And then the recipes themselves. So I know that you keep that like in a vault. It's secretive.
Definitely.
Nobody knows it except you and your wife. How are you able to maintain that secrecy with all your the help that you have and your bakers?
So that's where when I come in late at night or early in the morning, we do kitchen world, or the chefs and bakers, they do what's called a mise en place. It's a French term for meaning having all your things in one place. What I do is I mise en place the dry ingredients, so my flour and stuff, the secret recipe. I put it all in one container, and my employees know, hey, grab container A, mix it with the butter, throw in the eggs, throw in container B, and then add the topping, and then that's how they're able to make the cookie. But it gives me time to not necessarily have to be there watching them or doing it myself. Right. So it gives me time to be at the office or to be with the kids, to do these other things, so that I can be here when it's really important.
And now that you mentioned kids, are you guys strict with them when it comes to sugar intake?
Our daughters are cookie monsters. Every time she comes in here, she either needs a chocolate chip cookie or she likes to call it a marshie, which is a marshmallow. She eats it in her own special way, where she likes to rip them all apart and just eat the inside. But no, we're not very strict, and I'm sure if there's parents out here watching, you know how it can be when you have a 2 or 3 year old screaming and crying for something. Sometimes you're gonna have to give in, so we tend to give in a little bit.
I can't imagine because I'm a cookie monster myself, so I can't imagine having been like a child and my parents baking the best cookies ever, and then them telling me no, or just having that temptation all the time. Well, do you ever take these home?
We do. We take them home. I try to give them out to my neighbors or things like that, because I can only eat so many cookies here and there.
I wish we were your neighbors.
Come on down. Hit us up on a Sunday. We got you.
About being a lawyer, how do you think that being a lawyer has helped you now run this business? Has that given you business experience and just the knowledge to also protect yourselves?
I would probably say, about protecting myself, and
that's a big advantage that a lot of people don't have.
Putting up warnings, or not overextending ourselves. Just making sure that we're able to putting special warnings and things like that, if need be, would probably be the biggest thing that's helped me, and just how to run a business and how to manage people, like those employee-employer relationships, and just always maintaining a good relationship with everyone. And
for anyone who may not know about Sweet Licks yet, how would you describe your cookie, and what are the top 2 or 3 flavors that they need to have?
So I would say our cookie is just best described as, that homemade feeling. If you were making cookies with your mom or your grandma back in the day, where it's, that crisp edge but nice soft gooiness on the inside, where it tastes like it just came from home. That's how I would kind of describe our cookie.
Because you have so many good flavors, which one should people start with?
Depends who you're asking. If you're asking my wife, she's going to tell you the chocolate chip cookie is the best cookie we have.
It is really good. I mean, it's a classic.
I personally like the cookies and cream cookie.
Oh, I like that one too.
And if you're here in Miami, most likely you're going to love the guava white chocolate chip, because the Cubans over here in Miami love, or the Latins, they all love the guava, so that's a big hit as well. And if you're a kid, either sprinkle or Oreo stuffed is the one that they usually go for.
Yeah, I like the sprinkles one a lot, actually. How about your mom? What does she have to say about all of this?
One time I think we both made cookies, and it is slightly different.
I'd be interested in trying that, like seeing how different it is.
I'll have to get you some. You can let me know. You can let me know. But yeah, I felt like ours was a little bit softer, if I'm not mistaken, than my mom's. My mom's was, maybe she cooked it a little bit longer, or
it's like crunchier, maybe.
Yeah.
Yours is pretty soft. It's like crunchy on the outside, but then softer on the inside, which is great. That's what we like.
That's definitely the goal, and we're always baked to order, so it's usually fresh cookies whenever you are ordering. I think that's kind of also what separates us from the others, is we don't necessarily have our cookies left out all day, and you know, just sitting there, it's always fresh.
Fresh, baked to order. Yeah, no, and you can taste the difference. And it's a real cookie. It's not like these huge pies or anything. Like if you want a cookie, these are the ones. Like,
Definitely.
Perfectly compact, handheld, and great. And then when you have your family parties, is this the main dish usually, or are they just so used to it that it's no big deal anymore?
Well, sometimes I end up not bringing it, and they do get mad at me, like, how are you not going to bring cookies
so they're
out
still,
here?
like, not...
Yeah, no, my brothers, they're like, where's those chocolate chip cookies at, you know? But I also tend to, you know, try and bring some ice cream or key lime pie just to kind of have a little bit of a switch up. But no, they always expect cookies, and when I have an event and I leave, they're like, where the leftover cookies at? You know, they're always wanting some.
That's a good sign too. Yeah. It's a testament to how good they are, that even your family is not tired of them yet. I want to talk a little bit about the husband and wife dynamic. So we're gonna bring Stephanie, your wife, over.
The boss.
We're gonna get the boss, the one who handles the numbers, you know, the one that's like the strict one, but really, really smart. So we're gonna get into all those juicy details. Stephanie, you are also, just like Erik, the brains behind Sweet Licks, but you handle a lot of the creative aspect, the social media, the numbers, dealing with clients. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about your role.
All the social media, the branding, the looks of our boxes, how we, you know, serve things, the way that it's laid out in a box.
Yeah.
The cookie cakes, originally I was the one that would always have to come in. We got an order last minute, all right, Steph has to go decorate it. Now, thankfully, we have more people that can decorate cookie cakes, but I was always the one originally that would have to come and do that. All of the photography that you see on our feed, on our stories, the videos, that's all me. And any party that's being planned, anything with the bus, it's me. So
that's you.
Yeah.
So you're like the creative brains behind all of this.
Yeah, and Erik is the cookie monster himself. He does all of the baking. I mean, he's the mastermind behind our product, and I do kind of all the other stuff that comes with owning a business, like not everything, but most of it.
Yeah, most of it. But your background itself, you played the violin.
Yeah.
And you went and got your master's degree, but it had nothing to do with this.
Nothing. No, never imagined in a million years that I would be able to say, like, okay, I have a cookie company with my husband, and that's what we do. Everybody, when they find out I used to teach violin, they're like, oh my gosh, you're a violinist? And I'm like, yep.
Do you still have it in you?
I still do. I still have, 2 students. Our oldest daughter, she's 3. She's already started playing, so I do practice with her, and I still get to enjoy that part of it. Mm-hmm. Very different mother-daughter versus teacher and student, but, still get to enjoy that part of it. But yeah, definitely did not expect doing cookies and photography so much, and videography, all that, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, and you've been with your husband since you were in high school, so you always knew about the cookies before it was even a thing. You were always a part of it in a way.
Yeah, I love sweets. I loved his mom's cookies, and when he started making it, I remember, sometimes being late night with him in his mom's kitchen. Yeah. Making the cookies and doing the tins for the holidays and all that. And yeah, it's been a long time coming. This has come a long way, for sure.
Did you ever feel like you had to let go of what you really loved, which was playing the violin, to then do this, or?
No, I feel like I'm just a social person in all aspects of life. I'm a people person. I like to speak with, talk with our customers. Whenever we have pop-ups with our bus, that's my favorite part of Sweet Licks, is meeting the customer, or like interacting with people on Instagram whenever they're like, oh my God, we just had your cookies and they're amazing. Erik and I love that part of it. And teaching violin was a very social thing, meeting a new family, speaking to the kids, and cookies. Kids love cookies. I still get to interact with kids all the time. I still get to, be social. So that's...
For you, it's about the people and being social.
Yeah, and who we meet in this life, right? Like, who we come across. And so I think I still get that. So that fulfills me.
And prior to this, though, was it your goal to become some type of big time violinist?
Never. No? I actually don't love performing. I love teaching. I love the aspect of teaching, and little kids specifically. Like, my thing was teaching them as young as 2 or 3 years old, and then usually by the time they were in high school, I'd pass them off to another teacher.
Yeah, that's like you're too old and with an attitude already.
Exactly. Yeah. The preteen was never my favorite stage. Yeah.
And how about your kids now, though? How do you work around them with managing a business? And
grown up in this kitchen. Samia, I think, was just a little over a year when we finally, were starting to get this thing running, and she grew up here. I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
Sometimes, Erik mentioned, after dinner, he comes over here. Well, most of the time, if he's coming over here, we're all coming over here. And it's just like a huge...
I mean, at least it's family time.
It's family time, whether it's at home or it's here. And it's craziness because the two little ones are running around.
We need to let people know they're only 3.5 and 1. So they're not just any type of little. There's a lot of work.
Little, yeah. I mean, there are plenty of videos and pictures of me with one in a sling and decorating a cookie cake. And it's just, you got to do what you got to do. And they know that we have to go to work sometimes, and we better bring a cookie back or a marshmallow. If I forget a marshmallow, I'm done for. No, they love being here, and that's all that matters. Like, they're happy being here. They're happy being, with us. So we try to bring them whenever we can.
Yeah, and they see like they're growing up, seeing their parents working together and like always together, building a family business together. So I feel like those are nice lessons that you're instilling in them and memories that you're helping them create as well.
Exactly. Totally.
What is the dynamic like working with your husband? People like their breaks. You can love the person, but sometimes you need a break. But you guys are 24/7 thing.
We've been together for so long. I mean, we don't
since high school.
Yeah, since high school we've been together. I mean, he works at the law firm, all day. So I definitely do get to catch up on any news in that aspect, like of his work. Yeah. And then I send him usually if I'm here taking pictures or videos, I'm sending him pictures, and he's like, oh my God, that looks so awesome. Yeah. It's a very positive thing. It's never like, oh God, we're talking about work again. And we're both so excited about how far we've come and how much more growth is, happening right now, especially with the new store coming. So it's never like, oh God, Sweet Licks, we have to talk about this again. It's always, we're both excited. Do
you ever feel like it's difficult to separate the two? Like sometimes you feel like I need my time to talk about, I don't know, nothing.
We'll usually say if we're going to a dinner or something, which is rare, but whenever we do go to dinner, just the two of us, we'll say, all right, we're going to do 10 minutes of Sweet Licks talk. Yeah. And then that's it. Like we can't talk about cookies anymore, or like anything else with work. Like we're just going to not talk about it. It's hard to not talk about it because it's always the first thing on our mind.
It's hard to not, but then you start, mixing the two, and it's like, wait a minute. Let's talk about how much we love each other instead. Yeah,
for sure.
What tips would you have for other people who work with their partners?
I think communication and making sure, you guys are on the same page and where you want to be and where you want this to go. Making sure that maybe the tasks for each person, so I know that I don't have to worry about payroll. Erik does payroll. I do know that I have to make sure, scheduling is done, and the people who's working is gonna, who's going to be working. So we have our jobs, we have our tasks, and that I think is the best thing to do. Make sure you know what your role is.
Like everyone's stay in their lane, and you do this and I do that
for the business. And thankfully, we both bring good and different things to the table, so that helps.
So baking and cooking are not really your thing?
Cooking, yes. Chef Steph is for a reason.
Oh, it's for a reason.
Salty,
okay.
I got you. Salty, I'm your girl. Baking, other than banana bread or my famous French toast little breakfast things, that's as far as my cooking would go for sweets. Cookies,
interesting. And then here we are.
Yeah. I mean, I love to eat cookies. I love ice cream.
And that's important too, because you have to be a good judge.
I'm the official taste tester, so I think I got the best job.
I think so too. And then with that, you're also able to come up with really good flavors of the month.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you come up with those ideas? Because you kill it every time.
Thank you. I usually go based off of the season we're in, or if there's any special day, like a National Coffee Day, or some sort of a day throughout the month that maybe will fall in line with this flavor.
What do you feel has been the biggest challenge so far?
Time. Taking time for yourself. Taking time, there's no social media break because so much of our business has to do with social media, Going on vacation, it's still okay, but I still have to make sure I post, I still have to make sure I do all the Instagram stories, I gotta make sure if there's an email I have to answer. There's never really a break. So I think that's the hardest part about being a business owner, is that it always comes down to you. You're the owner.
You can only take it as far as you want it to go, and the work you put in.
There's never a moment where it's okay, I'm taking today off. There is no day off.
There is.
So that is the hardest thing I think about being a business owner.
No days off.
No, literally none.
Hopefully one day soon, right?
Maybe.
When you guys continue to grow even
Yeah.
more and you can have an even bigger team, hopefully
Yes,
that'll help.
The team is everything for sure, and without our Sweet Licks team for sure, we would not be
Right.
even halfway of where we are right now.
Is it safe to say that are you in a position right now to give tips to people who might be in your same position, struggling with managing their time and running a business? Like, what would you suggest to them?
Do everything from your phone. No, that's really what I do. I feel like multitasking is my biggest forte. Like, I'm putting the kids to sleep and I'm on my phone making the schedule, or, you know, it's just, I don't have like a routine exactly because our kids are so young. So I feel like once they're in school and coming in and doing some office hours would be ideal, but everything's kind of on the go. So it's really just being flexible, I think, with your time, and not everything's going to be, you know, how you plan. Things come up, and it's just being flexible and being able to multitask. I think that's the best advice I think I could give.
So you have a really cute bus,
Yes.
a Sweet Licks branded bus that you take it to parties.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So we take party bookings. We also participate in like Coral Gables farmers markets on Saturdays. And basically you could book us and our pink and blue cookie caravan to come to your party for as many hours as you'd like. And just, we'll serve cookies and ice cream, or, you know, key lime pie, little mini cups, and anything basically that we have on our full menu we can serve to you. You can email or DM us for more info on it, but that's our catering opportunity basically for you guys, and or you can catch us if you follow our stories. You can catch us whenever we're out and about on the bus.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. It was really great learning more about you and everything that goes behind Sweet Licks, which is a lot. These two work extremely hard, as you can see. I don't know how they do it, but they wear all the hats. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
And also make sure to follow them on Instagram, Sweet Licks. They also have new merch coming out, really cute. And see, like, that's an example. They're not selling that. That's for them.
Pins,
but
hats.
you can get the idea of how nice it is. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.